name's Alex Fraser. I have Crohn's disease and for about 4 years, and I use cannabis to alleviate a lot of the pain that comes with that. I use it to build an appetite, it's very difficult to eat with Crohn's, and yeah, I also use it to get off to sleep in the night and to ensure that I'm not woken up by pain in the night. Yeah, it's a lifesaver. Crohn's disease is basically like inflammation of any part of the digestive system, most usually the intestines or bowel, and it basically means that every time you eat something and when it's going through you, it hurts a lot. It's like you've got a rash on the inside and it's going to irritate that. And some of the chemicals in cannabis are anti-inflammatories, so they reduce that inflammation on the inside of the gut, which means everything goes through much smoother and is a lot less painful. It's also a good painkiller. Most normal painkillers aren't really good for people with Crohn's because they do things to your digestive system that aren't good for you. But cannabis doesn't have those side effects and is an effective painkiller. It definitely adds a lot of stress, being criminalised or thought of as a criminal for doing what I'm doing, because at the end of the day I'm just trying to get through each day with slightly less pain in my life, and I don't see why that's any harm to anyone. Yeah, I'm trying to get it legalised medically so that people like me who need it for various different medical conditions can alleviate their suffering a little bit and get by. And I think that's a fair enough thing to ask for. For people that are sceptical about the medicinal benefits, I'd say go out and do some research about it. I mean, it's all over the internet now. There's loads of different countries that have it available for medical purposes, like 22 states in the US now. And yeah, I mean, go find someone who's using it and ask them, and they'll tell you it makes a big difference to my life, and it makes a big difference to a lot of different people's lives. And it's not just for fun, it's really good medicine.
My name is Shauna Banda, and I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease about 9 years ago, and had every condition that you can think of I've endured. I went through the beginning stages of the disease, where I was having strictures or blockages in my bowels, with surgeries and drugs to fix that, all the way to the terminal stages of the disease where I was losing weight quite drastically, and my body was starving because any food that I ate was gone within minutes, and my body just wasn't able to absorb any of the nutrition that I was trying to give it. I was so sick for just so long that as soon as I tried the oil and started feeling way better, that there was no turning back. That was it. That was it. No medication that any doctor had ever given me had worked that well for any reason. I had watched Rick Simpson's movie, and I was in Kansas, and you need a whole pound of it to make the 2 ounces to cure you, and I cried. And I was like, there's no way. And I accidentally found out how to do it with a little $50 Gladstone vaporizer and a $5 spatula. Scrape that stuff out and scoop it into a pill and eat it 3 times a day. And it's just amazing. It really is. I really was on my deathbed, laying there in my bed just waiting, because I was in and out of the hospital so much and out of the emergency room that the last couple of times I had went in, there's nothing that we could do for you. And I'd gotten to the point where I didn't want to be a burden, didn't want to do anything, so I was just literally waiting to die. So, and that's when I accidentally found the oil. And really, within 3 days, I was able to no longer need the use of my cane. I could stand upright, and that was it. My life changed forever.
Okay, please tell us your name and what cannabis has done to help you medicinally.
Okay, my name's Karen Rivers, and I have Crohn's disease. I was diagnosed in '96, and throughout the years had some of my intestines removed, was put on so many pharmaceuticals that had so many really bad side effects. I was on immunosuppressants for about 15 years. I've been able, with cannabis, to put my Crohn's in remission. I have gotten off all of the pharmaceuticals. June of last year was when I finished weaning myself off. And cannabis not only lets me function, it lets me be able to get out of the house and have a life. And the quality of life means a lot when you're living it. And I would just love to see someone get in there and get this medical act approved, because so many people are suffering, and this is just a plant. It's just a plant. And I believe God put it on this earth for us. I think He wants us to have it. I really do. And I know between God and cannabis, they have cured me. They have put me in remission. My colonoscopy was great in December. I have no signs of Crohn's disease right now. It has repaired my intestines.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that. Is there something else you would like to say?
I just really hope that the representatives are listening to us and they hear us, because so many people are suffering, and I've seen so many miracles with this plant, so many miracles. And it's just, I get so emotional, I almost cry if I hear of someone that's got cancer or something, and I think, if I could just tell them about this plant. And I do. I tell them and I let them decide. And I hope soon we won't have to live in fear when we self-medicate. It's not going to hurt us.
That's so true. Did you walk with the walkers today up to the legislative buildings?
I did not walk. I drove a sport vehicle.
And what did you think about the march or the walk today?
I am so proud of all of these guys. They're out here walking for all of us that can't get out here, those of us that are sick, that can't walk. Probably 2 or 3 years ago, I was using a walker. I don't use a cane or anything anymore. I'm fine. Cannabis does cure us. There's just so many things that it does cure, and I just really would love to see us have a medical cannabis bill on the November ballot.
That's true. And there are so many states that have Crohn's disease as a qualifying condition.
Yes, they do. And I'm here to tell you it will heal your intestines.
It's amazing.
Right.
Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have lost about 60 pounds, fully, yeah. And I haven't gained weight for probably about a year and a half. And now I went to the doctor probably 2 or 3 days ago, and for the first time I gained 2.5 pounds. I'm 15.
15.
Yeah. I have Lyme disease. It pretty much makes you lose weight, and that's what I'm using this for. And it stimulates my appetite enough to where I can eat, and gets rid of my nausea so that I can eat. Because before I would get nauseous and I'd try and eat and it just wouldn't go down right. And then once I vaporize, about a half hour after, I can eat, I can get an appetite. Yes, I used to take many more pills than what I am now. I used to take probably about 4 pills a day. Yeah, I was taking Zofran and Nexium, and I haven't taken one of those in probably a month now. Yeah, and I used to take it daily because I just had to. I couldn't do anything without it. So now I really have improved with that. I was taking Percocet and Oxycontin. And since I started smoking, I don't have to take near as much. I just went to my doctor, and when they found out that I gained weight, the whole place just started yelling, and they were all excited. Yeah.
My name is Dale Sky Jones. I'm the Executive Chancellor for Oaksterdam University and also the Chairwoman for the Coalition for Cannabis Policy Reform. However, on a personal level, I choose cannabis because I found that going to the hospital every couple of years to get hooked up to IVs because I have an uncontrollable vomiting syndrome, that just a little bit of cannabinoids actually prevented not only the physical trauma of the hospital trip and vomiting uncontrollably for days on end, but also the monetary cost, the cost of my job. I spent a lifetime thinking that I had food poisoning and alcohol poisoning and all of these various things, and it actually took a cannabis doctor to finally recognize what was wrong with me and offer up a treatment that has since kept me out of the hospital for several years. And I found that my story is repeated over and over and over again, that cannabis just simply allows you to be present in your own life for your own family.
Hi, my name is Peter. I'm 52 years old, and I wanted to tell you how I very successfully treated my type 2 diabetes and obesity problem by digesting cannabis oil. In August of 2011, I went in for my regular 12-hour blood sugar fast test. The tests were 12%. That's 3 times too high. I was on 8 pills a day, 4 metformin and 4 dimacron. The family doctor told me that there was nothing more he could do, and he was sending me to a diabetic specialist. The diabetic specialist told me I was leaking 12 grams of protein out of my kidneys every day, and that he was sending me to a kidney specialist. Obviously, the medicine's not working. So I decided to try alternative methods to treating my type 2 diabetes. And I discovered what scientists call the endocannabinoid system. A small film by Sanofi Aventis Pharmaceutical Company claiming that the endocannabinoid system is in charge of body sensitivity to insulin and sugar levels. I saw a statement from Dr. Robert Melamine, PhD in biology, claiming that cannabis oil can treat autoimmune diseases. I came across Rick Simpson of phoenixtears.ca. On his site is recipes for how to make the oil and how much to take. In 6 weeks' time, I went from this guy to this guy. The next fast test, which was at the end of November, showed that my blood sugar was 4.5%. I had to stop taking my pills in the middle of November because my blood sugar had gone below 4%. What you're seeing here is 2 pictures taken a year apart, August 2011 and August 2012. I am 50 plus pounds lighter. My diabetes has not been over 10% since November. You know, it took me less than 2 weeks to figure out how to cure my diabetes and obesity. I'm not suggesting there's been a suppression of evidence, but maybe a lack of interest because there's no money in it. I'm urging doctors in Canada and the States to research themselves on the endocannabinoid system. Make your decisions on science-based evidence. The evidence is all out there on the endocannabinoid system. It's an incredible part of our biology, and it should be learned by every doctor. Thank you.